thanks for joining me. How much should you spend on your gear? Well, that's a loaded question. There's a few options. We've got a red pen for ultra budget savvy. We've got a green pen for the middle grind. And then we've got a blue pen. What's that going to be for? Well, that's for people that have no budget and they don't care. So what we'll do is we'll look at a few different criteria. Now, this is going to be relevant to your currency and what you're planning to buy. But don't worry, we got it covered. Let's start the first option. We're going to say, I want to buy a camera. I'm going to keep it quite plain because some people out there may not have many options. So let's say if I'm getting a camera. So what kind of camera? I don't know. I just need a camera. So it can be photo, it can be video, it can be live streaming. We'll have to find out. So I want a camera. I want to do some vlogging, so I want a really good audio quality. So let's say mic as well. So mic. So that's number 2. So most people will think about cameras in terms of, well, the camera's already got a mic on it, so I should be okay, right? But that depends now. If you're doing video and you're doing any type of quality audio where you're going to be speaking, it might be quite important to get a mic that's going to work for you. And in this example, let's put it as an ultra low budget. I don't know. Let's say I don't want to spend more than 300. That could be dollars, that could be pounds, it could be your currency. So what can we do for 300? Well, to be honest, there are options out there if you're thinking along the lines of, I want something cheap but not too expensive. The first thing's going to be, it's not going to be a DSLR. Because at the moment, I'm showing you a cheap option for a DSLR camera, which is a Canon T7. A great first camera, a great option at like $449. So already over our budget. If we're looking at 300, can we technically spend 300? Well, we can't, because that's $150 already that I'm asking you to extend to. So in this camp, if you've got a requirement for a camera, but you've not got much money, I'm going to give it to you straight up. The thing to do is save and try and get some more money. Because there's no point you trying to buy a camera that's not going to be great at £300 or $300 or whatever the currency option may be. Because you're not going to do any better than what your mobile phone camera might already be doing for you. So if you've got a mobile phone, the camera on that, the goal is to basically get a camera that will be superior to the camera you're already using. So at the 300 mark, I would say to you, you know what? Nah, don't bother. Save up. Try and get a couple of $100 more. And then you can look at something like a Canon EOS camera, DSLR camera, which you'll get leaps and bounds from a mobile phone. If you get a dedicated camera, you'll actually know that, actually, you know what? I'm actually dedicated to taking photographs and the quality is superior. You've got a DSLR camera, you'll start playing with depth of field, you'll get better photos in low light because the sensor is bigger than a mobile phone. There's additional options to get lenses. You can get loads of little extra bits, which will be, when you see what you're doing with the camera, you'll be like, actually, you know what, maybe I should invest a bit more money and look at some more options. So that's your ultra low option. I'm basically saying, save up. If you're under $300-400, don't try and find a camera that's a bridge camera, a point and shoot camera for under that amount, because technically your mobile phone will be comparable to that camera you're buying, so you're not really getting anything better, are you? So that's number 1. Ultra low budget is a red pen. We're going to swipe that out and we're going to look at the next budget. What is that going to be? Well, we're going to find out. So next up, how about we're in the mid-level? So when I say mid-level, what kind of monetary value can I put on that? Well, you know what? I'm going to put a value of between 600 and 800. That is like a reasonable option. If you got between 6 to 800, basically under 1,000, you're in a good place. There's a few options there that get you started very well. So what can we look at? We want a camera. We want a changeable lens. So if you got money of that type and you're in the middle grind, you've got a bit more flexibility. You can have a DSLR camera, which means you can adapt lenses. Start off with like a kit lens. A kit lens is basically the lens that comes with the camera, like that. And then as you progress, you can simply keep the camera and buy another lens to make you more pro, if that's even a thing, as in better quality photographs. I'm struggling putting that back on there, but you know, that's how it rolls. So we're gonna get a camera, yes. We're gonna get a DSLR, yes. Between £600 and £800, okay, yeah, we can do that. So what does that mean in terms of cameras? I have a camera here that would be very nice, and this will work for you in a multitude of ways. So you can say Canon M50, nice compact mirrorless camera. It refers to the type of build of the camera. Still a DSLR. It still looks like a DSLR camera in terms of like sizing wise, just a little bit more smaller, easy to carry. You get good options with it because you get video capabilities, recording video. It'll take great photographs. You can even use it for live streaming. So technically, that would be a nice solid camera for you to start off with, and it's great because it's smack bang in the middle of our budget. So if you want to spend under £1,000, that would be a great camera. $700-ish, $550, £600 kind of arena. So there is a good suggestion, good option for a camera. Now, right now, we're kind of looking at an option because we're saying, you know what, that's the rough price for the camera. But we are looking at gear today. So would you spend all your money on the camera, or should we save a little bit aside to get some decent gear? Because gear will be very important. Alongside the camera, the experience of getting the right gear alongside it makes the camera do and work to its best. So we're going to discuss that slightly further on. So I'm kind of giving you little options there to keep a little bit of budget behind. So in this example, 700, we're saving about 100-ish. So we've got 100 there to play with. So in this example, what can we do for 100 that will really amp up our camera? Well, I would look at microphones. Video is excellent, but if your quality of your audio matches it, if you're going to be doing any type of speaking, spend some money on the audio. Get a nice boom mic which you can put on top of the camera. Maybe a microphone that you can connect to another device. You can use your mobile phone as a recording device. So you can get a really nice lav mic and record into your mobile phone and then sync up later on for when you come to editing. So this type of situation, if you're doing a casual thing like a holiday camera, you might not need to worry about this as much. But if you want to make a professional video, you want to do like a talking video, something with a bit more depth, like a documentary style thing, different types of mics are options available. So camera wise, we can definitely get a good camera in a middle budget, which will work very well for you. So that's your middle ground. And in addition to that, you could probably spend half on a mic, like 50-ish dollars on like a lav mic, and you can spend 50 on a light, which will give you a bit of extra dimension to your video. It'll make it look a lot nicer. So that's your mid level option. Now, if money is no object, what should we be buying? Well, you're in the right place, people. We're going to give you a few options there, which will be Excellente. We'll do green for this, even though I said I'll do green in the middle. I've swapped those around. Detty mics, yeah, they're all right. Adam, hello, thanks for dropping in. There's a few options out there, and you can look at loads of them to see what works for you. So how about if money is no object, what should we be looking at then? Well, we've got a nice option for you. Canon have got their mirrorless cameras. R6, the body only, you can pick up for $2,500. So if we're saying a camera and we're interested in having the best of the best, just to show everybody that, oh, we've got a really great camera, that's normally where you'll get the Sony A7 III, one of the options that a lot of YouTubers use. Camera, and then we've got, I'm showing you on screen now, you'll have the EOS, and we've got the R6, people. Now, money's no object, so I'm not going to say how much it costs. It doesn't matter. So we'll get the camera. What else do we want? We want a solid lens. What would be a good lens to go with that camera? I would say if you're doing generic stuff day to day, you can get a 24-70 2.8, work great. It's like a good, that's what I use on my cameras as an additional option. 24-70, and that's going to be the RF lenses, which is the newer type designed for the mirrorless Canon cameras. So we'll go RF lens, so we're looking at there and there. So that's already two items. Those will work very nicely for us. However, what about if we want some nice depth of field. Maybe a 1.2 Canon, the 50mm. So that's another option. We've got 3, so 50mm. And Canon, come on, Canon lens, that's what it's about, isn't it? 1.2, and that would be a nice depth of field, nice blurry backgrounds. You'll just need enough distance to be able to achieve that. So there we've got 2 lenses and 1 body. What we're saying price wise, well, that's going to be probably like close to 5k, 6k probably. So that's not too bad. We're still under 10k. So what about now if we want to get into a few more options? Well, I've got a few here. I'll show you a few suggestions for different lenses, because RF lenses, there's a whole host of. Wait a minute, you could even look at the R5 or a Sony and get a converter. 7200, that'd be a nice option. Or even 35mm. Yeah, see, is your spoiler for choice now, because what they're doing is they're releasing all the old glass in RF mount, and that's just like a whole new thing. 15 to 35, that'll be a bit of a beauty. Let's have a look at that. So 15 to 35, here we go. I'll bring it up for you there. So basically we're concentrating on lenses here. Now this will be good for you, because if you're not sure what you're planning to shoot and money's no object, get one of each and have a party, because you can look at that and that will work very well. At 15 to 35, 2.8, still not really, you know, blurry, but it's close. You're going to get a nice wide view, and if you get close enough to the camera and you've got enough distance behind you, it'll do great. I think right now I'm using a 2.8 lens. Normally I use my 50mm 1.4 where I get really blurry, which is kind of nice, but that is a nice option for you. So if you look at 1, 2 and 3, bam, that will do you a nice option for money is no object. And how about audio? I'll probably get something like the mic system from Hollyland. That does very well, the lock system. So I'll put that on the camera, have the wireless mic set up on me, and you basically don't have to worry about anything, because it'll get your audio. It won't be as good as a dedicated mic, but if you're out and about, that will work very well. And I've used that a few times and it works very well. So that's like the lock mic system. And what we kind of look, let me see what we're looking on that for price wise. That's a couple of hundred, 200-300 maybe, something like that. Oh, here we go. Hollyland lock, well, it's on offer, so $237. So that would give you a nice overall option to work in multiple ways. So if you're wireless and you don't need to be stuck to a certain spot, then that'll work very well. Obviously distance as well, so you can see that there. You can even put a mic into a lav mic into them, so it makes it better. So that's like a look at a few options around low budget, higher budget and mid budget. Low, mid and money is no object. It's kind of like, you could probably go even better than that, but I don't think you need to, because the R6 is a great camera. It'll get you good quality overall. And if you're more of a Sony person, you can get a Sony A7 III, you know, because you can. And then get Canon glass, because obviously Canon glass is superior in every single way. Julian's not here today. Julian normally comes in chat and tells me, oh yeah, why are you shooting with Canon? It's always about Sony. So we always have a bit of a joke with him. Yes, so that is a quick look today at a few options. The next video will pop up here, so you can click on that and see that. And I'll see you on the next video.